I'm Uday Karmarkar. I'm a professor at UCLA at the Anderson School of Management, and I'm visiting MISB Bocconi. I've been associated with Bocconi for many years on research projects. I've given lectures there, and I'm very happy here now to be in Mumbai at what is essentially a partnership between Bocconi and local people in this business school, which has several outstanding features to it. One of the most outstanding being, of course, globalization. So I'd like to say a few words about our Business and Information Technologies project. This is a project that we started at UCLA. It's a global project. It has 20 partners in 16 countries. There are Indian partners, and Bocconi has been a partner since day one. In fact, Professor Claudio De Mattei, who founded SDA, the business school at Bocconi, was one of the earliest collaborators on this project, and regrettably he passed away a few years ago. The point of the project is to look at how information technologies are changing business around the world. We originally conceived of this as a country-by-country project because we could see big differences in the degree of progress and the rate of progress. But we have now come to a point where even the countries that might be thought of as being perhaps technologically less developed or less wealthy are actually progressing at a very high rate down the path of technological change. So China, as we all know, may not be the most developed economy in the world, but it's a huge economy. It has the biggest telecom sector. It has the largest number of web surfers. India is rapidly increasing in terms of the size of the telecom sector. It's very sophisticated already in terms of the companies that do information consulting work for wealthy markets outside India. But the average person in India is actually quite technologically focused in the sense that, cost aside, they're very eager to get involved with technology that literally helps them. For example, Indians, when they get on the phone, get on their mobile phones, they speak longer than anybody else in the world. Indian telecom is the cheapest in the world. The rate of increase, and telecom is the base layer of the information technology world, so that's really a very good indicator of what's going on. Now, internet and web penetration is not that high, but it's essentially a cost-based issue. And by the way, India will never be a big desktop country. The picture is, and when we look at comparisons with other countries, the picture in countries like India is you kind of leapfrog landlines to cellular, and you leapfrog the desktop and go directly to a mobile access method like a hand phone. So it's feature phones, shortly to be smartphones. Once the low-cost phones appear, low-cost smartphones appear on the market, we'll start to see a big change in the Indian consumer first. I think Indian companies, it's a paradox. They're sophisticated, but they're also still following somewhat old-fashioned IT methods in their internal management of IT. Already in the West, it's bring your own device. The IT people inside companies are losing their control, their tight control over equipment and software, and this is just a natural evolution. So now, what's happening in terms of business and in terms of government? In terms of government, India is doing extremely well in certain areas like the ID card proliferation that I hope will happen. Voting, electronic voting is happening in India. I hope we'll see much more e-government. I see the railways introducing ticket vending machines or initiating those projects. So I think the prospects are very good. In terms of e-commerce and B2B and B2C e-commerce, the pace will be a little bit slower. But certainly the music business in India is already being vastly changed as it has in the West. The traditional packagers and recorders of music are not going to be the way that most Indians hear music in the future. So all this convergence and similarity across countries means, for us it means that we're going to give up on the country posture and actually go sector by sector. So that'll be the next phase of the BIT project. We are already doing that. We are studying banking. Dematerialization, as you know, is already a popular thing in banking and other financial sector institutions in India. In fact, oddly enough, they are more advanced in India than in some developed countries, and that often happens when you leapfrog technologies. So we can look forward to very substantial changes in India.